They said civilization began 6,000 years ago. They lied. Before Adam walked the earth, before the first flame of man was lit, something else ruled here. An intelligence erased by time, buried 20 million years deep. And the planet itself helped hide their bones. But what if the Earth is not silent? What if it remembers? There's an idea whispered in the halls of science, the Forgotten Age, a time when another civilization might have risen long before us. Not humans, not even ancestors of humans. Something else, something that mastered the world and then vanished without a trace. And the most chilling part, we may never find proof, not because it never happened, but because Earth itself destroyed it. Could our planet be a gravekeeper, guarding its oldest secret? 20 million years, not 20,000, not 200,000. 2,000 times longer than all recorded human history combined. Earth was unrecognizable, continents still drifting, mountains being born, seas swallowing plains. The Miocene epoch, a restless world of storms and shifting life. If a civilization lived then, it would be entombed beneath worlds of rock and fire. Here's where the first barrier rises: evolution itself. Humans didn't exist 20 million years ago, not even close. Our lineage hadn't yet split from the apes. So if intelligence existed then, it wasn't human. It was something else, something lost, with no descendants, no fossils, no genetic trail. A vanished mind, erased clean from the tree of life. Could another species have reached the stars of understanding and then fallen into oblivion? Even if they built wonders, time would not spare them. Earth recycles everything. Continents collide, mountains rise and crumble, oceans devour the land. Every earthquake, every storm, every eruption erases yesterday's world. The surface of our planet is a moving graveyard. Rain turns stone to dust. Wind carves cities into sand. 20 million years of tectonic rage would reduce pyramids to powder. Perhaps that's why we find nothing, because the Earth has perfected the art of forgetting. In archaeology, there's a field called taphonomy, the study of how things decay. It teaches one brutal truth: nothing lasts forever. Even stone tools crumble, even fossils fade. Every layer of earth rewrites the one before it. So, to find a civilization from 20 million years ago, we're not just digging through soil, we're digging through time's own recycling bin. What kind of evidence could survive such fury? Two scientists dared to ask that question: astrophysicist Adam Frank and climate scientist Gavin Schmidt. Their idea was simple, yet world-shaking. If an ancient industrial civilization once existed, could we even detect it? Not through temples or bones, but through chemistry itself. They called it the Silurian Hypothesis, a search for civilization's fingerprints in stone. If they were real, their legacy would not be buildings, it would be anomalies. Chemical scars, strange isotopes, a whisper of technology buried in rock. Our planet's rocks tell stories, if you know how to listen. Spikes of carbon, sudden warming, chemical patterns that don't quite belong. Some epochs show strange blips, bursts of heat and chaos that vanish as quickly as they came. Volcanoes? Methane? Or something else entirely? Could one of those ancient spikes be the echo of a forgotten industry? Perhaps a civilization burned its world long before we learned how to light a fire. And all that remains are the ghosts written into the rocks. If the earth forgets, the oceans remember. Underneath miles of pressure and darkness lie the Earth's oldest sediments, untouched for millions of years. Some layers contain unexplained residues, metallic traces, abrupt temperature shifts, the ashes of forgotten storms. What if those ashes are not volcanic, but industrial? What if the first apocalypse was not natural, but man-made, long before mankind? What if their ancient wars unleashed a nuclear fire that blanketed the earth in ash? The untold story of the first atomic age. Then there is Antarctica. Beneath 2 miles of ice, satellite scans reveal massive geometric formations, unnaturally precise. Some say it's just geology. Others whisper it's something older. An entire landmass entombed since before humanity's dawn, perhaps since before humanity itself. If we could drill deep enough, would we find stone or steel? Every mile of ice is a locked chapter, and someone sealed it for a reason. In Turkey, ancient stones speak in silence. Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 years old, already rewrote what we thought we knew. But what if that was just the last echo of something far older? A civilization remembering a civilization, an inheritance passed through myth and memory. Perhaps the builders were not inventing, but rebuilding, following blueprints etched into their collective dream by a vanished world they could barely recall. Maybe this is how it always ends. Civilization rises, masters nature, reshapes the world, and then falls, leaving only geological whispers. Then life begins again, new species inherit the silence, and the planet resets its clock. Perhaps we are just the latest iteration in an endless cycle of creation and erasure. Each age thinks it's the first, but the rocks remember otherwise. The fossils of forgotten empires are beneath our feet, just beyond our reach, laughing at our arrogance. Maybe intelligence itself is the test. A civilization's true challenge isn't discovery, it's survival. Those who fail are erased so completely that only atoms recall their names. And those who pass become myths in the eyes of the next creation. We stare into space searching for alien minds, unaware that the aliens might have been buried beneath our own soil. Perhaps the silence of the cosmos isn't emptiness, but memory. Every legend, every myth, every divine warning may be a broken message from the last world. Floods, fires, falling stars, gods that walk among men, all retellings of the same disaster in a language we forgot. The Forbidden Age wasn't a story, it was a warning. And perhaps our ancestors did not invent their gods, they remembered them. What we call myth might just be history, written in symbols to survive extinction. So here's the revelation. We are not the first. We are only the latest dream of a planet that has dreamed before. The Earth builds civilizations like waves, one after another, and each time the tide erases its own footprints. But deep beneath the crust, the echoes remain. Every stone temple, every fossilized spark, every impossible anomaly whispers the same truth. We are walking on the ruins of the forgotten gods. And one day, we too will join them, erased, reborn, and rediscovered by minds yet to come. That is the secret of the forgotten age. If this revelation moved you, remember, history is not what we've been told. There are truths buried beneath time itself, waiting for those who dare to see. And when the veil lifts, the forbidden returns. You are watching the Forbidden Chronicles TV.